Eskom says in the Western Cape, it has resolved to temporarily suspending operations in Endlovini informal settlement. The power utility was responding to what it calls attacks on their employees, with 4 violent incidents recorded in the past 3 months in the Khayelitsha area. Eskom's senior operations manager in the Western Cape Promise Ntuli joins us now for more. Promise, good to have you, and thank you very much for your time. How have the attacks disrupted service delivery?
Thank you very much. In the Western Cape, within the Khayelitsha area, we have recently seen an increase or a spike in continuous gun-pointed armed robberies and attacks of our men by armed men in terms of our operators as well as contractors. The recent one being the one in Endlovini that happened early this week. And unfortunately, how this impacts the community is that when these things happen, we have to take precautions by making sure that we keep our staff safe, as well as the contractors. And to resolve to that, we temporarily have to then withdraw our resources, and that is exactly what we did. We then engage the community, including the community leaders, to see how we can work together as Eskom around alleviating these issues so that we can return back to deal with the issues of crime. In terms of the impact, that is what happens when customers have no electricity, needing us to be in the area, and then the incident happens. They then are faced with longer periods of prolonged outages of no restoration of supply due to the fact that the services are now being withdrawn. And I think this has been continuing for not only recently, it's been happening for a couple of years now within the Khayelitsha and the increase in the crime incidents.
Are these generally crime hotspots where there is a general report of crimes being conducted there, be it on the citizens, be it on other businesses and so on and so forth? Or are these attacks directly aimed at Eskom workers?
Khayelitsha specifically has been identified as a hotspot or a higher risk area. Within Eskom, we call them red areas, and that refers to higher risk areas. So that means there has been a risk assessment that was done by law enforcement, that be SEPs, and those reports that are produced by SEPs are then fed in through to the organizations such as Eskom. And within Eskom, we have our own security teams that have been appointed, who then utilize these reports to identify the high-risk spots, and Khayelitsha is one of them. It's not only happening to Eskom, it is happening across various organizations that are servicing the area, as well as the community itself. To go as far as when we have these engagements, the community members, they do indicate that they also are affected by the crime that is happening within the community, by the thieves that are residing within the community.
So do you have a strategic response to that kind of risk? And how do you normally do it without just pulling out your services?
Yes. So what we have been doing and on a continuous basis is that we have established relationships with, starting with the city of Cape Town, who also have been working very closely with the community to deal with the issue of crime. And then we have got SEPs. We also have been working closely with the local business community, as well as the local community leadership and the community at large, including the ward councillors. But over and above that, within Eskom itself, we have our own Eskom security that is meant to protect our technicians when they go out, along with the contractors as well. But if we look at this issue and the magnitude of the crime in the areas, Eskom alone, with its security teams and systems that has been put in place, cannot solve this problem alone. It's something that we must continuously work as a collective, which I must say the collective stakeholder engagements and rallying to support one another to work through this crime affecting service delivery within the areas has been great. However, I think the root cause being the actual socio-economic issue within the Khayelitsha area is something that is imminent in the area, but there's been a lot that's been put in place, and we continue to engage. Another thing we have done since a year ago was establishing a community cooperative where we go into the area and we get the stakeholders, including the community leadership in the area, where we sit and we talk about how we can combat these issues within the Khayelitsha area that's affecting the service delivery for the communities.
So are you saying the community assistance, the metro assistance, the provincial assistance has not been able to assist you to be able to carry out that work?
We are getting support to carry out the work. However, when the incident happens immediately, as in the teams are out on site and they're doing work, and then the gun pointing incident happens immediately, what follows is they will be withdrawn from site. What will then follow after the incident has occurred would be the re-engagement with the communities and the steps and looking at how we can combat the issue of crime. Only after the engagements have taken place and the remedies have been put in place and the support has been agreed upon, then the services can be reinstated. And this is exactly what we have done to Endlovini. Services have been reinstated already. That was after we engaged to inform the community to say we have now had another incident in the area. How can we work together to combat the issue? After those engagements, then there was great support from the community, along with law enforcement, and hence we then returned back to the area.
Yeah. Any arrests? Have the police arrested anyone for these incidences?
Not in this case that we are dealing with at Endlovini, but in the past, yes, there has been arrests. But what we do find is some of the arrests do happen, and whenever the thieves do come out of prison, we start seeing again an increase in these incidents going up. However, we have had reports where the arrests were made specifically for Khayelitsha. I think we had incidents in Site C, Site B, Zwezwe, in Kanini, various areas. It has been happening increasingly since 2020. So yes, there has been some arrests been made. However, the more we have these criminals within the area, we continue to see these incidents until they're locked up.
All right. Promise, appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming on. Eskom's Senior Operations Manager in the Western Cape, Promise Ntuli there.